Man, yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, we are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? It's a nice Saturday afternoon here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the weekend and getting some rest and relaxation, right? I'm going to pay a shout out to my lady at the very beginning of this show because she ended up taking another day off from work today. She called in sick for the second day in a row. She hasn't been feeling well, and I'm glad she did that because she just worked so hard. And all right. All right, we should be back. We should be back. I already got cut off one time within the first minute of going live. I'm in an area where there are a lot of people. There's an athletic club here, and it's the weekend, and it's packed, and it could be, impacting the cell tower. So, if several cutouts happen, it is what it is. Just gotta do what I gotta do. But like I was saying a second ago, I don't know how much you heard of it. I want to pay a shout out to my lady who took another day off from work today to get better. She's had the flu. She works so hard and, never typically takes any time off. Works hard and then plays hard. And, she's 46 years old and I'm 48. And as you get older, you don't take those, those days to rest and recoup. It's going to catch up to you. It's going to come back and bite you in the ass eventually. And it finally did for her. So I'm glad that she's resting. And she's probably tuning in today. I have another great topic to discuss here today as I head on over to the trail. I'm parked in a parking lot. And this is a topic that if you folks truly make this choice, make the right choice, and do the right thing, it'll change your life. It'll turn things around for you if things aren't already going the way you want them to go for you in your life. That's a big goose. What's up, bud? Let's see how close we can get. Hey, buddy. And I may have to stop somewhere and use the restroom. I used the restroom a few times before I left my place, and I'm already feeling like I have to go soon. So we're going to get on the trail and then find a spot and go off the air and do what we have to do. Whew, man. I'll tell you folks, little update for me. And maybe this will, help you folks out down the road so you don't make the same mistake I made. Years ago, a few years back, after I went through an unexpected breakup, sometimes when I go through a breakup, I wasn't really that startled by it. But anytime you've been with someone for a year or so, you get used to being around them and doing things with them, and then when they all of a sudden just, take off and leave and never come back and don't give you a reason, you can kind of figure out what that reason is, right? With all the information we have nowadays regarding male and female relationship dynamics, talk about a lot of that stuff here on my channel. But when you go through something like that, sometimes you just need some time to yourself, and you end up eating certain foods that aren't good for you. They taste good and they make you feel good temporarily, but you pay the price in the long run. And I've always been a big fan of caramel. I've always loved caramel. But I never realized how difficult caramel is to digest. It's one of the most difficult things to digest, especially if you like to eat raw caramel like I used to like to eat. And a few years back, I ate quite a bit over the course of a couple of weeks or so. I ate quite a bit of raw caramel. And even if you chew it thoroughly, it's very, very sticky. And the more and more you eat in a short period of time, it builds up in your intestines, and it can also cause a blockage. It can also impact, like a blockage is an impacted stool. And for the last couple of years, because when you eat something like raw caramel, and a lot of it, it takes a lot longer to digest through your system and process. And in the meantime, it gets sticky and harder, and it's very dense, and it's just very, very difficult to pass. And it takes time. To this day, every so often, as more and more gets dislodged, because, if you have something stuck on the side of your colon, not your colon, something stuck on the side of your intestines, your stool can pass around it, but that old sticky stool is stuck on the side, right? And sometimes it just takes a while for it to pass through and to loosen up with the amount of water and fiber you take in. And to this day, I've still been releasing some of that hard, sticky, lumpy stool. And that has also affected, my sciatic nerve, because the sciatic nerve goes down to your butt area and your stomach area. And when you have, pretty major impaction, and it presses up against the sciatic nerve, it radiates that pain down your butt, through your leg, your knee, your shin, and down to your foot. And that's what's been affecting my walking and stuff. I've been to my doctors about this, and, All right, we should be back. I got cut off again. I really don't know what's going on with the cell towers in my area lately. I may need to uninstall and reinstall the YouTube app. I'll probably do that tonight. But there are a lot of people where I'm at, and I think the cell towers have probably been overloaded along with electrical interference. Or again, it could be the YouTube app. On the iPhone and even on the Android, if you don't uninstall the YouTube app and reinstall it every so often, it grows to 40 plus gigs in size, because it keeps a lot of the information there for some reason. Give me a second here. Some people over here. And on the Androids, you can actually manually, clear that out without having to uninstall and reinstall the app. But on the iPhone, there's no way to do it. You have to uninstall the app and reinstall it. So that could be affecting my app. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But it is what it is. We get cut off a few times. We'll just keep doing what we've been doing. Shut down the app, reset the cell tower by going into airplane mode and then turning off airplane mode, relaunching the app, and then just resuming. That's about it. So, yeah, like I was saying a second ago, folks, as you get older, and even when you're younger, this can affect you. Try to eat as best as possible. Eat foods that are easy to digest and that are going to give you energy, right? Because you don't want to deal with what I've been dealing with for the past couple of years, and it can cause other issues. It makes you weaker. I herniated a disc. That's all taken care of. That's all good now. But, me eating the wrong food made a similar symptom, which was not related, made it worse. Got to take care of yourself. You need to, look at what you're eating and thinking about how your body's going to digest it. And is it going to digest easily and quickly, or is it going to take a lot of time to digest? And is it going to be difficult to digest? Is it going to be difficult to pass? Nobody ever thinks about these things until it's too late and it happens, because we just want to enjoy life. That's part of the issue, right? And many of you may be saying, Eli, this is, why are you sharing a story about your constipation issues and pooping issues and stuff like that? I share it because I don't want you to go through what I went through, because I care about all of you, right? We've all been constipated at one point or another, right? For different reasons. And we have so many, processed foods nowadays, that were not meant for our bodies to digest or digest as easily, right? So it's just about, raising awareness and sharing my stories with all of you. So that way maybe I can spare you some of the heartaches that I've experienced in my life, right? But I'll tell you, the last 2 years, it hasn't been easy. It's drained a lot of my energy. And I'm still productive, but once this completely clears up, which is almost there, I can feel my stomach just finally letting everything out. It's almost completely gone. Once that happens and I'm all clear, my energy is going to quadruple. Even if you have a small impaction, let me wait for these people to pass by. Even if you have a small impaction, it can drain a lot of your energy. You want to be able to completely empty your stomach when you go number 2. And you also want to be able to completely empty your bladder. That's when your body is optimal, right? And if you're not completely emptying both when you go number 1 or number 2, you folks know what number 1, number 2 is. It drains your energy. It affects your health. So hopefully that sheds some light on you folks. Yeah, it's funny. Whenever people talk about poop and shit and stuff like that, right? It's a funny thing. And people make fun of it, right? People may make fun of me, right? Like trolls and haters, they'll make fun of me. I don't care. It's a story that can help people, right? And any information that can help people by them not making the same mistakes that I made, you're not going to have to go to the heartache, many of the heartaches that I went through, hopefully. There's like a mother and a daughter up ahead. They're right in the middle of the trail. And they stop to take some pictures. I'm going to have to pass them up because they keep stopping. They're going to keep stopping, so I'm going to around the corner and turn around. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. Yeah, these two ladies are gonna stop every few 100 feet to look at the beauty. They've probably never been here before. So just had to pass them. I'd probably walk 10 miles before they even walk one the way they're going. So hope you're all having a great weekend. Hopefully the weather is decent where you're at. Hopefully you're spending time with your loved ones or friends, family, etc. And you're relaxing. Whew. It's so beautiful out here. I'm hoping that for the majority of this walk that I won't get cut off, and I'm hoping that my screen isn't black, because a couple times yesterday my screen was black while the audio was working. I went back to watch the replay. So if there's anyone out there that can let me know if you can see the video and audio, that would be great. God, those women are still way back there. They're never going to finish this trail. They probably won't even go out. They're probably not even out here for the walk. They're just here to see the beauty of the nature, right? Of nature. And I love enjoying the beauty of nature, but I also love getting my exercise in at the same time. So, yeah. All right. So we're just going to get right to it here, folks. And it's a topic that I've got a lot to talk about, a lot to say. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail. Another section of the San Francisco Bay Trail. Been here before, haven't been here in a while. It's nice to be back. This is episode number 229. Whew. And today we're going to be talking about making a change, right? And you must really want to make a change or not. If you really want to make a change, okay, I'm butchering it. You either really want to make a change or not. There we go. You either really want to make a change or not. There's no in between. There we go. Queen's off on the weekends, so she's not here to put the topic in the chat. I had to go by memory. But I always have an idea what the topic is, even though sometimes I forget how I exactly wrote it in the title, right, and in the description section. So you either really want to make a change or not. There's no in between. You know, all of us at one point or another in our lives have struggled with who we are. Trying to find who we are and what we want to do for the rest of our lives, for work, how we want to live our life. Do we want to share our life with someone in a relationship, a marriage, have a family or not? I mean, you know, when you're younger, you know, it is the job of your parents to, you know, lead by example and show you, the kids, how happy they are to be married, how happy they are at work, how happy they are at home, etc., right? And when you're younger, you're looking at them as an example, and hopefully you have good parents. Many people nowadays don't have good parents, or, you know, they lack proper parenting, and then it kind of throws you in a tailspin to have to figure it out on your own. And that's where we're at nowadays. And even, you know, for kids that have both parents or had both parents growing up, Nowadays, both the man and the woman, husband and wife, are working, and the kids are being raised by somebody else. Those are called latchkey kids. There's been a tremendous spike of latchkey kids growing up nowadays because, both men and women are working, because about 55 years ago, I keep going back to this, but this is what it all stems back to. 55 years ago or so, women were liberated, and now women are also working and, doing jobs primarily that once only men would do, right? So our kids nowadays are not being raised the same. So in most cases, not all cases, some kids are still raised the old school way, right? Some, women, or nowadays some men will stay home and then their wife will make the money, or the wife will stay home and the husband will make the money, like it used to be in the traditional days, right? And then the kids still get raised properly, right? But most kids are left to fend for themselves and try to figure it out, because the examples that their parents set were not either there or not there enough, or they were the wrong examples, right? Due to poor parenting, right? And a lot of times, as little boys and girls get in their teen years, they continue to, learn bad habits because they're not being raised right. Then they enter their 20s and they continue with those bad habits, even though they're now adults. They're still behaving like little kids because they weren't raised to be, good, proper boys and girls when they were younger. So they continue to carry on that behavior as they get into their early 20s. That's why you're seeing a lot of guys nowadays on Reddit in their 20s, lost all over the place, asking the dumbest questions when it comes to dating women. It's ridiculous. If you want to see more, go back and check out some of my, bedtime stories videos in 4K at 60 frames per second on that playlist on my channel, and you'll see a lot of those stories there, right? And so, you're in your 20s now, and you're a lost soul, right? And because of that, you're generally not going to be happy within yourself. You're trying to figure things out, and nothing's really going your way, whether it be, the type of job you have. Maybe you're not making as much money as you feel you deserve. Maybe you want to, date a woman if you're a guy, or date a guy if you're a woman, and you're having a hard time finding someone to date, and then you start just getting really, really super frustrated, right? You start getting frustrated. It makes you angry. It makes you bitter. And what you're not realizing when you're coming off that way, you're only further setting yourself back from not getting what you want, because sometimes things are just not going to work out. You're not going to always connect with every person you meet, whether it be for dating or for business or whatever, right? Or friendships or whatever, right? So because these kids were not raised right to be strong and understanding, and understand that, hey, not everything's going to pan out, and just take everything with a grain of salt, say it is what it is. And keep moving forward and keep trying to get what you want. Instead of complaining that you can't get the girl, or the girls you can't get the guy. Okay? Say, hey, that guy or gal wasn't meant to be for me. Let me keep putting myself out there and maintaining a positive attitude, and I'll eventually attract someone that is right for me, right? But at that age, you're not typically mature enough. You should be, because you're an adult. But you're not typically mature enough, A, because you lack experience, B, because the way you were raised was, not the greatest way. Again, your parents were both working, you were a latchkey kid, you were raised by someone else, like a nanny, right? Now, if you're lucky to be raised by a grandma or grandpa or both, that's better than a nanny. but it's still not as good as having at least one of your parents with you all the time. Back in the days of traditionalism, that was the mother, the wife, right? But again, because women are working nowadays, they've been liberated, right? That's practically out of the equation, right? So you're let to fend for yourselves and figure this whole thing out, right? And here's where people like me come into play as a coach, where I have 48 years of knowledge and I've been through all this, right? And I've experienced pretty much anything and everything in life that that you've either partially experienced already, and you're probably going to experience most of everything that I've experienced at some point or another, right? And so here's where I come in and share my stories and share how I failed at least once or maybe several times, depending on that particular aspect. And how I overcame these failures. What did I do to overcome these failures, right? But here's the thing. Even though I can help people, and people that do what I do can help people, we can't help anyone that's not open to the help. We can't help anyone unless they are 100% ready to make a change. You have to come to that conclusion on your own. You have to take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I don't like the way things are going, right? I'm not a bad person. I'm a good dude or a good gal. But everything I keep doing is failing me, or I feel like I'm failing, right? And I want to turn that around. Maybe I should seek help from someone that's experienced, right? Until you get to that point, no matter what you say or do, is not going to matter. Give me a second, folks. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. All right. All right, we should be back live. My apologies, folks. Feel a lot better. You know, when you're out in the, out in nature and stuff, right? Even though there are homes on the other side, when you're out in nature like this, you got to do what you got to do when you got to go, especially if you drink coffee like I do. So like I was saying a second ago, people like myself that do what I do, okay, that can truly help people. And, we have tons of experience. I've been through a lot, I have tons of experience, and there are many other coaches that, also have tons of experience and can truly help people, right? But no matter how good we are, right, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you're open to the help. Once you're open to the help, it opens up the floodgates for the changes to start happening, right? You have to be open to it, right? I used to always, say it here on my channel, and I say it every now and then. I'll say it right now. You need to be open to suggestions and change. If you're not open to suggestions and change, right, no one can help you. You can't even help yourself, right? Until you get out of that miserable state, right, that depressed state, that state of where you're so unhappy that you're spending most of your days projecting your insecurities onto other people you perceive are better than you or that you wish you could be like, right? Because that's the truth of the matter. That's what triggers, people that project. When you call people out on projecting, they get super triggered. Why do they get triggered? Because you're spot on, right? Because for me, I'm secure and happy within myself. Thought I saw somebody behind me. I'm secure and happy within myself, and at this point, I don't let anything or anyone bother me or derail me, right? No matter what people say about me, they can call me the biggest piece of shit on the planet. They can call me a phony, a fraud, a loser. They can say I'm ugly, right? They're just words. And that's fine. Hey, if that's how you feel about me, the only reason why you're saying that to me is because it's a direct reflection of how you see yourself, right? You're projecting. That's what projecting is. Projecting is taking out your unhappiness on someone you wish you could be like, right? Or as happy as, right? Again, a projection is a direct reflection of how you see yourself, right? Because any normal, decent person that's happy would not try to harm or kick down another person for any reason. A happy person's gonna want to become further happier. That's why, you don't see me ever try to kick people down. Have I overreacted at times in the past? Sure, we've all done that, right? Have people, like this, especially out here on YouTube or even in real life, said things on purpose just to trigger me, right? Sure. Did I say things about them? Sure. All I said was they're unhappy and miserable, and they see me, they see the happiness in me that they wish they could have, so that's why they come at me, right? And they're thinking that they're going to find their happiness by taking my happiness away. When the truth of the matter is, there's plenty of happiness for the both of us or for all of us. There's plenty of happiness for everybody. I'm going to share a story right now. And it goes back to my younger days. And this is one of the things, in my opinion, that really affects people more than anything. I feel that the number one thing that people are insecure about nowadays, whether you're a man or a woman, is your looks and either being in shape or being overweight, right? Let's face it, let's be real about it here. Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. If you're out of shape, you're overweight, I'm not here to attack you or criticize you. I still love you as much as I love anyone, right? Or everyone, right? But if you're overweight, out of shape, right? You need to own it. And until you're ready to own it, there's nothing you can do about it or anyone else can help you do something about it, right? You have to get to the point of where you hit rock bottom and you're just so unhappy and miserable being overweight or out of shape to want to do something about it, right? And like I've said before, I'll say it again, the best reason why you'd want to get back into shape is not so you can be hot enough to attract men or women, right? It's so you're at a healthy weight level and your body, mind, and soul are healthy, right? Because if you're overweight, the more overweight you are, the more chance you have of getting diabetes, the more chance you have of having other issues within your body, and the shorter your life is going to be. I think most people out there, whether they're in shape or whether they're overweight or obese, understand that if you're overweight or obese and you don't do something about it, and you keep gaining weight and you keep becoming unhealthy, you're going to have a very short-lived life. Now, some people are very lucky being overweight or obese and they can live to be 70 or 80. But what if you were in shape? You might have lived to be 100 or 110. Some people that are obese or overweight are dying in their 50s, right? Or 40s. Right? Why would you want to put that, or why would you want to put yourself in that position? Where your life is that out of control. You can get yourself back into shape, not only for the health benefits, but it will change your attitude and outlook as well. There's somebody down below with their dog, so I'm going to come up here. Give me just a second, folks. So I'm going to share a story. And I think I've kind of shared this before, but not in the great detail I'll be explaining it here today, because this is what changed my life. And I've mentioned before in the past that, there have been a few points in my life where I've gained 20 or 30 pounds. And a lot of people may say, you gain 20 or 30 pounds, you'll still look okay. Well, yeah, you look okay. You have a little bit of a belly, right? But it's not even that, right? You gain 20 or 30 pounds, even 20 or 30 pounds puts a huge strain on your body. And for men, those 20 or 30 pounds go to your gut. And what happens when your gut pushes down? It puts more strain on your back, right? Even just 20 or 30 pounds, even 5 or 10 pounds. I can tell you, even now, if I gain 5 or 10 pounds, I can feel it in my back. So I've done whatever I can to stay right around my nominal weight level, which is about 170 to 175. I'm about 175 right now. I'm toning up, and I want to build a little more muscle, right? So my weight's yo-yoed. It's even yo-yoed a few times in my 40s. When? After relationships. Now, the last time, I gained 20 or 30 pounds, it was like probably closer to 30 pounds, was after, my ex Dana broke up with me about almost 4 years ago. I think it's going to be 4 years this summer. And after we split up, I immediately started my weight loss regimen that I've always done when gaining that weight. And a lot of people may wonder, when I was with Dana, we used to go hiking all the time and biking and doing a lot of things, right? Well, let me tell you, just because you're biking and hiking all the time, if you're not eating properly as well, you'll still gain weight. If you eat more calories than you burn, right, you're still going to gain weight even if you go hiking, right, or biking, right? You got to have a better balance of what you eat and how many calories you burn on your workout or workouts. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, bro? Can you see me okay? I'm not black like I was yesterday, like the black screen, right? With just audio. You can see audio on video, right, Lewis? I hope so. I'm in an area now that's clear and wide open. I don't think I'm going to have any reception issues. I think the reception issues are either when I'm near the freeway and there are a lot of cars, or I was near the athletic club and there are a lot of people. Like I'm further out now in the clear with no electrical transmission towers, and I've had no issues. Yes. See you in here, you loud and clear. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it, bro. You like the beautiful scenery? I haven't been out here to this part of the San Francisco Bay Trail in a while. Lewis, you should come out here, have your family buy one of these waterfront homes. you know, as soon as possible. Then we can hang out, Lewis. You can let your mother know that one of these homes will only set you back about 2.5 to 3 million. Yes. God, the housing market's outrageous out here. But I mean, what do you expect when you look out? When you look out your back windows in your backyard, and this is what you see. This is what you see. And you got a beautiful trail you can walk every day to stay in shape. You can do 2 to 4 miles on this section of the SF Bay Trail every day. And if you walk 2 to 4 miles every day and you eat normal, you will not gain weight, you will be healthy, and you'll be fit. By the way, folks, for those of you just joining, please, if you can, you like this stream, hit that thumbs up, smash that thumbs up. Please share this out if you can, if you feel up to it. I'd appreciate it. Share it out on your community tabs, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, tweet it out. And if you already haven't done so, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications for my live streams. You must be subscribed to my channel for a minimum of 24 hours before you can chat. It's just one of my security measures. And plus, why would you want to chat in someone's chat if you're not there to support them for the right reasons? And if you are, you'd subscribe to them anyways, right? But make sure you subscribe and you bang the bell, and then you select all notifications so you don't miss anything. Well, I'm hearing people somewhere, but I don't see anyone near me. Maybe it's the homes on the other side. People are probably talking in their backyards. I can't see them because there's like a tall bush acting like a fence. So, oh, there are people that are walking towards the trail. They're just talking really, really loud. So I can hear them like a quarter of a mile away. And they just have supersonic hearing, who knows? So this is the period of my life that turned my life around and started heading me in the right direction to allow me to be the positive, uplifting, outgoing, loving, and caring person towards everyone nowadays. Now, I'm not saying I wasn't like that before. I've always been a good person. I just didn't know how to handle negativity and negative people. I used to always fight negativity and negative people and try to call them out on their stupidity and, question them, why are you so mean? Why can't you just be a cool, nice person like myself? We can hang out and blah, 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 right? And I quickly learned as I got into my early 30s that you just got to let some of those people go, because until they're ready to make that change, nothing you or anyone else, says or does is going to change them. When you talk with them or call them out, you're only basically creating more issues with them, and you're giving them more of what they think they want, which is a fight, right? Because it's these fights that keep these people entertained and feeling like they're worthy, when the truth of the matter is just masking the underlying issue of how much they hate themselves, right? Right? That's the truth of the matter. There's a nice bench here. One day I'll bring my lady here and we'll sit here. You like that bench, babe? Now it's blocked. There's a tree here. Like you can, let me see. Oh, I think this is the bench that has some very weak wood. If I sat in the middle of this, it would probably snap. And this is what you see from this. Well, I just showed you. This is me and this is what I see. See, there's a tree right here. Maybe moving this bench off to the side would give it a better view, or trimming these branches. We've got some people coming with their dogs. I'm going to wait for them to pass on by. I'll let these people walk by. They're having a conversation. You can tell. You can almost tell what people do for a living out here by hearing the way they talk. A lot of these people are in the high-tech industry. And you really can't afford to live out here unless you're making at least $200-300 grand a year if you're going to buy a house. If you rent, you can get away with 100, 120, 150. But if you're going to buy a house, you need to make at least $200-300K, and the jobs that typically start you at that amount or close to it are going to be high-tech jobs. A lot of people are on the trail right now. Lots of kids coming behind me with bikes. So I'm just letting people walk by. All right, let's continue. Those kids just stopped. Just waiting for them to move by, folks. My apologies. Sorry about that. Got to do what you got to do, right? All right, they're all rolling now. So, when I was in my late 20s, there was a point in my mid-20s where I'd gained about 20 or 30 pounds. And, I was 20 or 30 pounds overweight. I mean, I wasn't horrible. I was still all right. But, I was 20 or 30 pounds overweight for several years. And I started to notice something about myself, when I had gained a little bit of weight. I started noticing that, I was less happy within myself. I wasn't happy with the way I looked. Even though I wasn't horrible, I just wasn't at the optimal shape that I enjoy being in, right? Even gaining just 20 or 30 pounds, which doesn't look horrible on me. But you can tell my face, gets a little bit more puffy, and I've got a little bit of a beer belly. Not a huge beer belly, but it's there when you're 20 or 30 pounds overweight, right? And I started to notice it was like my self-confidence had gone down. And, I started noticing, the quality of women I was, attracting had gone down. And, sometimes even if you're, 20 or 30 pounds overweight, you could still attract some decent looking women. But those women typically have other issues, right? The attractive women that are in a good place are also going to want to be with a guy that's an attractive guy in shape and in a good place as well. So there were a lot of things I was noticing that were starting to go backwards for me, right? And all of a sudden, at age 29, I said, you know what? And I think that was the first time. I think that was the first time that I had gained 20 or 30 pounds, in my life. I think that's what it was. I just wasn't used to that, right? And you could also feel heavier. It's, it takes more energy to move around. You have less energy when you're carrying more weight on you, right? And so, around, I think it was 29 or 29 and a half, I took a good hard look at myself in the mirror. And I'm like, wow, I don't like what I see, right? And I don't like the person I've been. I wasn't an asshole or a jerk or anything. It's just that I wasn't as fun to be around. I was projecting my insecurities, right? I was criticizing my friends, and I've talked about that before. I was criticizing my friends and just, you know, doing whatever I could do to try to knock anyone else down that I perceived to be better looking than me or a better person than me. That's how today, when I keep talking about people projecting their insecurities, that's how I know about it. That's how I can identify it, because I was doing it. I think we've all done it at one point or another in our lives, right? But I had enough. I had enough of living my life that way. It just wasn't fun. It wasn't serving me, and it wasn't serving other people, right? And at about 29 and a half or so, I was hanging out with a friend of mine who was also a bit overweight, more than me. He was I think 80 pounds overweight or 90 pounds overweight. And he was trying to get into the CHP Academy, the California Highway Patrol Academy back then. Needed to get into shape to do it, right? And he had heard about this new diet called the Atkins diet, which is called the low-carb diet, right? The Atkins diet, also known as the low-carb diet, where you eat 0 to minimal carbs and you eat high fat, right? Because high fat will sustain your hunger longer. You eat more proteins, meats, cheeses, etc. And you lay out the breads, the pastas, the candy, okay? You also don't drink any soda. You drink more water. If you're going to drink soda, drink diet soda because that's 0 calories, blah, blah, blah. So where did it change for me? Where did my whole outlook change? At age 29 and a half, I decided to do this Atkins diet. And literally within a few 2 to 3 months or so, I think I was 30 pounds overweight. I lost the 30 pounds. And I got back into really, really good shape. Once I got back into really good shape, I looked at myself in the mirror. And I was proud of myself. Number one, that I accomplished it, right? And number two, I looked good and I felt good. And I knew I was attractive. I felt attractive. And here's the thing. When you feel attractive, people are attracted to you. Even if you're a little out of shape, as long as you feel attractive, people are still going to have some attraction to you. I'm not saying, get out of shape and then still feel attractive, just to test out if that method works. It can with some people, right? But the whole point of the matter is this: when you feel attractive, it radiates off to the universe, right? But typically most people don't feel attractive unless they're in shape. If they're out of shape or overweight or obese, they don't feel attractive. And it affects your attitude, your mind, your body, your soul. And it affects everything, right? So, like I said, when I lost the weight and got back into shape, I felt amazing. I felt renewed energy. And my 30s were amazing. I had a great time in my 30s. I had some great relationships, met lots of great people, right? I know my lady's not going to want to hear this, and I'm a good guy. I've always been a one-woman man, even in my 30s. But in my 30s, I could have had my pick of the litter with women. Women, in the age range of 19 through, under 30. I'm not saying that to show off or anything like that or be weird, right? But when you take care of yourself and you have a positive, outgoing attitude, if you are looking good and you feel good and you have a great personality, if you're physically attractive with a great personality and you're not conceited or arrogant, but you're fun to be with and you're a good dude, you're going to have women all over you. Why? Because most men are not like that, right? And that's how I stood out. I'm sure my lady's going to text me saying, oh, yeah, babe, you said you could have had your pick of the litter. Well, babe, you could have had your pick of the litter too. You're a sexy woman. So there's no problem, right? She knows we're both secure in our relationship, but we got to talk about these things for example purposes, right? I'm trying to get you guys and gals in the right mindset, right? I'm almost halfway done. This is where I typically turn around. This part of the SF Bay Trail still continues on the other side there for another maybe quarter to half mile. But when I do this walk by myself and do a show, I typically will turn around right up ahead where those women are at right there. Now, how was I able to make that change? You know, when I had gained that weight, I think it was in my mid-20s. I think I was 26 or so around there. I think it was about a 3-year period of time, less than 4 years, 3 to 4 year period of time where I gained that weight and stayed there, right? My mother, you know, when she would see me, would tell me to go on a diet. You know, you're putting on some weight. My brother would tell me that, right? My friends would tell me, like, dude, you're getting a gut, right? And the friend that was telling me you're getting a gut already had a big gut long before I had a little one, right? I would hear it, right? I would hear it, right? And to be honest, did it bother me deep within? Did it trigger me? Yeah, it did. Did I really react to it? Not really, but whether I reacted to it or not is not the point. It's how I felt about myself inside. Deep within, I wasn't happy, right? And if I wasn't happy, why did I keep on hanging around friends that were saying, dude, you got a gut, and this and that, you got to lose weight? Like, why was I hanging around friends like that? Because they got themselves in the same position. In essence, you know, we felt comfortable in our friendship amongst the group of friends because we had all put on some weight, right? Right? And that's what happens with people. A lot of times, you know, friends, when you're growing up, you share experiences together. And even if you go through bad times, right, you share those bad times together and then you relate to it and you get comfortable. You get so comfortable to the point of where it makes you feel like those bad things you're going through, such as gaining weight and other aspects, are okay because we're still hanging out and we still love each other no matter what, right? But the truth of the matter is, it's not okay. Who would rather be overweight than be in shape? And when you're, like I said earlier, when you're in shape and not overweight, your body feels better. It feels physically better. You can move around better. You have fewer complications, if any. And emotionally, you feel better. Mentally, you feel better and clearer, right? So how was I able to snap out of it and make that change? It had to be my decision. I finally came to terms with myself that I wasn't happy living my life this way. I wanted to get back to getting into better shape because my best years were coming, and I wanted to enjoy my best years. I wanted to date high quality women or find the one, which, you know, to this day, I still haven't gotten married, but maybe I'm hoping the one I'm with right now is the one. I'm still trying, but I started trying back then, right? When I started taking better care of myself again, especially in my 30s, you know, and having grown up and become more mature, I started attracting better quality people in my life. And I also learned, more so what I try to teach today, I also learned how to filter out the crap and the trash, right? And that's why a lot of the friends I used to hang out with back in those days that had gained weight and stuff like that, a lot of those guys are still overweight and they're still unhappy and miserable, right? My brother still kind of hangs out with them every now and then, but finally my brother, you know, is like realizing it's not even worth hanging around those guys, even though we've known them for decades. It's just depressing being around people that don't take care of themselves and don't love themselves, right? I just came to that conclusion and realization a lot sooner in life than my brother did. I'm trying to avoid people. I keep hearing in the news, I think our mask mandate indoors is going to go away next week, or it might have gone away this past week. I have to look further into it. I also heard something last night that only 4 states have indoor mask mandates now here in the U.S. So, I think we're finally getting to the point of where we're learning to live with COVID. The majority of people are vaccinated. We're still not at herd immunity, but we're getting closer. I think people now are 65% fully vaccinated. Only 30%, I think 29 or 30% are boosted. And I'm one of them that's boosted. I recommend getting the booster. People are just, saying, hey, okay, we've taken as much precaution as we can. Life has to go on. Let's open up the floodgates again. I agree with that. I never even had a problem with COVID before the vaccines came out. I never got it, and I wore a mask where I needed to wear a mask. I never wore a mask on the hiking trails or anywhere, but a lot of other people did, so maybe that helped. But I also have a pretty good immune system, and your immune system is going to make most of the difference when it comes to how, you fight COVID, get COVID or not. Your immune system and how strong it is, is going to fight any disease, better or not as good if it's not a good immune system. It all depends on how strong your immune system is. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, getting back to my story, I made the choice. I pretty much hit rock bottom with myself. I wasn't depressed or anything, but I was just tired of being out of shape, tired of hanging around other people that were out of shape and that were not the happiest people to be around. I would hang around friends that, and don't get me wrong, some of these people are still okay to this day, don't get me wrong, but these friends were always in such a miserable state to the point of where most of the time all they wanted to do was play poker or drink beer and get drunk and do things like that, right? And to me, I never really enjoyed that, right? I've always enjoyed getting out and taking a walk or a hike. I'm going to pull over here and let these ladies pass by with their dogs because they're talking pretty loud. I hear them coming and it's distracting. I'm just going to stop here and wait. It's interesting how this thing has not cut off one time since I've been out here in the open, away from the big building with lots of people in it and away from all electrical interference. So, more so leading me to believe that it's the atmospheric conditions. Yeah, lots of people out today. That's good to see. got 9 people here, 4 thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you're having a great day. Please, again, if you're here watching live or you're watching on the replay, please like this stream / live stream replay. Thumb it up, smash that thumbs up. Please share it out. If you have a community tab on YouTube, share it on your community tab. It's pretty simple to do so. Share it on Facebook, share it on LinkedIn, tweet it out on Twitter, wherever you can. I'd appreciate it, folks. I really want to get this message out. I want to help as many people as possible turn their lives around and achieve that happiness that they've always wanted to achieve. I can't do it on my own, folks. The way that social media works nowadays is you need other people that believe in you to, make other people aware that would believe in you too. I need your help to get this message out. The YouTube algorithm and social media algorithms, they're not going to do their thing until other people, start to show more interest. And sharing it out is a huge way to do it, so I'd appreciate that. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, bang the bell, and then make sure after you bang the bell, when that box pops up, select all notifications. So whenever I go live or put out a pre-recorded video, you'll be notified right away. You won't miss anything. And also, you need to be subscribed to be able to chat in my chats. I have a requirement that only subscribers that have been subscribed to me for 24 hours or longer can chat here. It's a security measure. And also, it does help, stop a lot of trolling. And I have other measures for that too, with block words and Nightbot and all that, right? And spam protection through Nightbot. But also, I really want people to participate here in my live chat that believe in the message and that are here for the right reasons. And if you are, you would naturally automatically subscribe. So, like I said before, the only reason why people would leave their chat box completely public is if they're a drama channel and they just want to get trolled. And the more craziness that happens in that live stream chat, the more of a drama shit show the creator can create. Like for me, I'm focused. I'm laser focused on helping people and working with people personally and professionally that truly want the help, that are good people deep within, that are ready to make a change, that have identified, there are some issues I need help with, right? And I'm ready for help, right? I've done some stupid things. I've talked trash in the past. I've attacked people. I've projected my insecurities on people, right? And it just hit me, like I'm not happy. I don't want to be that person. I never really wanted to be. I just was unhappy with it myself. And I'm tired of being unhappy. I'm ready to make a change, Eli. Well, if you are ready to make that change, then you've come to the right place. And you'd also subscribe because you really care about the content and you care about the content creator, which in this case is me. So yeah, I was tired of being out of shape. I was, tired of projecting my insecurities. I was tired of being around negative people. And I'm not saying my friends were bad. They're not bad people to this day. It's just that the way that they would treat themselves and mask their pain and a lot of the things that they would do, like I said, they would prefer to go to the bars and get drunk or play poker and get drunk. And I tell you, folks, by the time I hit my mid-20s or so, like, I really started scaling back. Poker nights and getting drunk and drinking. And I was never really a big drinker, but, I had some fun in my 20s. Like I've talked about it in the past, I never even really wanted to drink that much. I kind of felt peer pressured into it. I kind of felt like if I didn't do it, I wouldn't look cool in front of my friends, right? I did a lot of things because I felt if I didn't do them, I wouldn't be accepted, right? I'm here to tell you guys, regardless of your age, guys and gals, don't do anything that you don't want to do. If you don't enjoy doing something and it's a requirement to hang around with a certain person or group of people, then don't hang around them. Say, hey, I don't enjoy doing these kinds of things. Thanks for the invite, but yeah, I just, I prefer doing other things, right? When you're younger, you don't understand it at this level. But maybe nowadays you young bucks can learn this quicker because of YouTube and, social media sites where people like me can talk about our experiences and you folks can learn these things at a younger age. And I wish there was a YouTube when I was in my early 20s or late teens, because this would have helped me out a lot. I would have moved forward much quicker. Right? You younger folks have a gift nowadays. If you use the internet in the right way, in the positive way to get the right information on how to better your lives, you will get a lot further ahead than people did before the internet came out. Because now you've got the gift of information from guys like me that are 48, that went through all this crap and had nowhere to go or turn to during those days, besides going to a therapist or something, right? But what are they going to do, right? They're just going to say, well, you just need to focus more on, doing right things for yourself. They're going to tell you things that you really aren't even going to understand at that age, right? But hearing other people's experiences would have helped me and gotten me on the right track a lot sooner. It's such a beautiful day. Look at the sun. It's interesting. The sun used to go down. It used to get dark by about 5 or 5:10. Now the sun's been out till like 5:30 or 5:45. The days are getting a little bit longer again. And, what that's telling me is that next thing you know, we'll be back to daylight savings time, where it doesn't dark until 8 or almost 9 o'clock at night. Those are the days where you can take a late afternoon hike and still get out in time before it gets dark. It's just really nice. Lots of people out here. Everyone minding their own business, just getting a walk in. Some people are alone like me. Well, I got you guys live. Some people are hanging out in a group and they're talking. No problem, as long as you get out there. Get in that exercise, kicking those endorphins. Instead of sitting on your lazy ass at home doing nothing and becoming more depressed, becoming more fat, right? Becoming more unhappy and miserable, right? If you folks have noticed, the only content I've been putting out lately has been these walking streams. Because, I've had other things to do and I've had to choose. Do I do an in-studio stream? Do I do a walking stream? Or pre-recorded content, right? And I chose to do these Walking with Purpose live streams for one of many reasons. Number one, people love the change of pace, being out in the open. And number two, I get out and get my exercise in instead of sitting on my ass recording videos all day from the studio or doing a live stream from the studio. And I'm not saying I'm not going to do those types of streams and videos again. I will, right? But because right now I don't have enough time to create 2 or 3 pieces of content per day, I only have time to create one. I'm choosing to create the one that benefits me the most, makes me the happiest, and in turn, my happiness will radiate off to you. And you'll better enjoy and understand my content, right? such a beautiful trail. At one point, when I get my full energy back, when this whole constipation thing is completely done, and I've been talking about this before, I want to go to other parts of the SF Bay Trail, all over the Bay Area. Now, in order to do that, I have to pre-plan it more so earlier in the morning. And because, depending on what part of the Bay Area I'm going to, it may take me an hour to get out there and an hour back, right? And then I got to do it during non-traffic hours, right? So it's an hour there, an hour back, and then an hour and a half to 2 hours for the stream, right? Or even if I do pre-recorded content, it'll take me a couple hours to record it, right? So I want to do all that. It's just, you got to take into consideration that that's killing half your day there, 4 hours. And when I finally decide to do it, I'm going to do it at a time where it's very productive for myself and my channel. That's another thing, folks. You need to focus on things that are productive and are going to move the needle forward, even if it's just a little bit each and every day, and that are also not going to burn you out, because you have other things to do in life too, right? You got to balance things out. Which way do I go? I'll take the high road, you take the low road. Let's take the high road. Discharge of firearms prohibited. It's a good thing, because this is a protected wildlife area. That's awesome. Got 8 people here. 4 thumbs up. Please smash that thumbs up, folks. Let's try to get 8 to 10 thumbs up while we're here live. We are at around an hour and 17 minutes. So yeah, folks, you have to choose. It's your choice if you want to make a change, right? It's up to you if you really want to make a change or not. It's your choice if you really want to make a change or not. So why not make the choice to turn things around today? Sit down by yourself and, put that smartphone screen flat on your, coffee table or kitchen table or wherever you're going to be sitting, right? So that way the notifications aren't distracting you. Put your phone on vibrate or silent so you don't hear it, and put the screen flat down so you don't see it. In essence, you're not turning it off, but you're kind of like turning it off so you're not getting distracted. All right, folks, I should be back. I got cut off. I should be back. I got cut off. Yeah, I think these towers out here need upgrading. I think the level of usage, the amount of people using AT&T cell towers out here has probably doubled or tripled in the last 5 years. And I think it's affecting the towers. I think these towers need to be upgraded, because I would get cut off every now and then in the past, but this year, the last 6 months or so, 3 to 6 months, especially the last few weeks, have just been horrible. And I think I'm more so thinking now it has to do with capacity issues. They're being overloaded. So when something gets overloaded, it resets and kicks everybody off. temporarily, right? Now, if you're surfing the net, you're not going to notice it because you're not when you're streaming, you need constant internet connectivity to stream. And when the network resets and you're streaming, it just cuts you off. And then you got to wait for it to come back. Typically, it takes 10 or 20 seconds or so, and then boom, you leave off where you left off. So, it is what it is. Everything will get better one day. And hey, you know what? I'm just happy that we've been able to do this stuff we're able to do today. 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, I couldn't sit here and broadcast live for hours from my daily walks and chat with an audience while I'm out in nature. I'm going to give you folks the frontal view. So someone's biking down on the lower side and on the upper side. And so I'm just going to have to wait for these two cyclists that are on both parts of the trail. I have to sit in the middle instead of following each other single file. And interesting enough, the lady is riding right in the middle of the path, right? And this dude, it's only single track up here, so it's like if you're at least gonna ride on the bigger path, ride on one side, not down the middle, so other people can come down and pass on the other side. Or if you see people coming, at least make an effort to clear up some space for them. Like, people just don't take other people's feelings, wants, and needs into consideration nowadays. They come out here on a trail like this, and they lose their marbles. And maybe their marbles are already kind of lost before they come out here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But that's another thing I really want to help people with is, learn to be more courteous and considerate to other people's feelings, wants, and needs, right? Leave plenty of space for other people to walk by on the sidewalk, on a hiking trail. I know this sounds like I'm whining and complaining, and it sounds like, it's stupid, right? But it's these simple little things that, for me, are a natural habit, because I've been this way my entire life. I was raised this way. It's a habit for me. Like right now, I have people coming on the lower part of the trail. I've got a camera and I'm live on the air. So I'm going to come up to the upper trail that's available and there's nobody here. And I'm going to be courteous to them, right? And how difficult was it to do that? Not difficult at all. I'm live on the air. I've got a camera and selfie stick and all that, and I'm still aware of my surroundings. And most people that are just, walking and not doing anything else are still not aware of their surroundings. I've got this camera and I've got the show and the chat to pay attention to, and I do that, and I'm still aware of my surroundings. It's not that difficult. Come back down. It's your choice, folks. It is your choice. If you truly want to make a change or not, it's completely your choice, 100%. Right? And there's no in between. Let's talk about that for the last part of the show here as I head back. Pretty soon I'll be back on the paved part of this trail. There's no such thing as half-assing anything when it comes to making a change in your life for the better. An example, if you half-ass your diet, do you think you're going to lose weight? Losing weight is one of the most difficult things to do because you need to expend calories. You need to go in reverse, right? 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. It is much easier to eat 3,500 calories over what your body burns each day than to, release, expend, go the other way, 3,500 calories, right? Your body burns 2,000 calories each day. If you do 1,000 calories worth of exercise, that's 3,000 calories. In order to lose weight, you've got to burn more calories than you eat. You've got to expend 3,500 calories for every pound you want to lose. So if you if you burn 3,000 calories between diet and exercise, what you eat and exercise, and let's say you eat 2,000 calories, that means you're taking in 1,000 calories less than you've burned. So that means you're expending 1,000 calories. So you take 1,000 and you divide it by 3,500, which is 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. That means if you do that same thing every single day, you're going to lose 1 pound of fat every 3.5 days. That means you're going to lose 2 pounds every 7 days or 2 pounds every week. On a 4-week month, you're going to lose 8 pounds. It's a lot of work. And trust me, if you don't eat the right foods when you're dieting, you're going to feel hungry and you're going to overeat. If you don't stick to it every day until you lose all the weight, you're going to fail. You're not going to lose weight. You can't half-ass losing weight. You can't half-ass making any change. You either got to go in full force 100% or don't do it at all. Because if you half-ass it, it's no different than not doing anything, zero, right? Half-assing it, even at 50%, is still going to yield you zero results in most things, especially when it comes to a diet. You've got to be ready to make a 100% change because you are tired of the way your life is going. You're tired of not getting the results that you want to get, whether it's in your dating life or the type of work you do, or if you're self-employed, etc., right? Or with your friends. You've got to make a 100% change. You've got to say, I'm ready to make a 100% change starting right now. Right now. And there's no turning back. And no matter what comes up each and every day, I'm going to do everything I need to do to lose the weight or to better my business and make more money, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it takes to make that 100% change, regardless of whatever comes up on any given day, I must do the things on this list to accomplish what it's going to take for me to make the change or the changes that are going to make me feel better and happier, right? That's what it takes. There's no magic formula. There's no magic diet pill. There's no magic anything. It takes work and time and commitment. Another thing I talked about yesterday is commitment, right? People fear commitments. That's your biggest fucking problem, is fearing commitments, right? What's the point of life if you won't commit to anything, right? If you can't commit to anything, in essence, you're choosing to be miserable your entire life. So what's the point of life? Life wasn't meant to be miserable. Let me let this person pass. Like, these women have the longest legs. This is an Asian woman with thin, long legs. And she's not really even walking much faster than me, but those long strides and the pace, she's like flying right past me. It's all good. I think we're about to hit the pavement right around the corner. This is another fear of commitment people have, is making a change within multiple aspects of their lives. Many people have difficulty admitting that they fucked up, they made mistakes, or they're wrong. How do I know that? I used to be that way. When I was younger, I used to hate admitting my faults. I used to hate admitting when I was wrong about anything or everything, right? I used to try to cover up my faults. And the more and more I tried to cover up my faults, the more stupid I looked, the more my friends knew I was BSing them, the more my family knew I was BSing them, co-workers knew I was BSing them, right? And the more and more you try to BS people, right? The more and more insecure you come off. And the less and less trustworthy and reputable you become. Even if you're a good person, you're still not as trustworthy or reputable, right? There are a lot of nice people in this world that are very flaky and, you know, not as trustworthy or reputable, right? Why is that? Because they fear commitment. People that don't fear commitment, you know, will schedule things and will be there when they schedule things, right? Now, the only thing that I'm typically late at is starting these streams, and I'm trying to get better at it. But any other aspect in my life, when I make an appointment or when I set a time, babe, let's meet at the park in your area at 2 p.m., I'm there. And if I'm running 1 or 2 minutes late, or she's running 1 or 2 minutes late, not a big deal. There's traffic and it's a distance, right? But we're pretty close to on time, right? But regardless, even if we're 10 or 15 minutes late, we made a commitment to see each other, right? Let me come around this way here, because there are some people at the bench. Let's come here in this grassy area. Ah, yes. The palm trees. That means I'm getting closer to the end. Yeah, this walk is just over 4 miles. I think it's about 4.25 miles from where I turn around, from where I start at my car, go out, turn around, and then come back to my car. It's a little over 4 miles, like 4.25, I believe I remember. I've actually used the Map My Walk and Map My Hike app, which are run by the amazing Under Armour company. If you need some good fitness apps, Map My Walk, Map My Hike, Map My Ride for biking. And they're made by the Under Armour company, and they're good apps. I didn't even know who Under Armour was until I started using these apps. I didn't even know about these apps until my ex-girlfriend 4+ years ago made me aware. And then when you create an account, you start getting messages, or you start getting emails from Under Armour. And then you start looking at this, and then you hear that, you know, they're the official, an official NFL sponsor, and they make a lot of their jerseys and stuff, right? This must be good shit. And I bought Under Armour, and I think Under Armour is one of the best companies that make sporting apparel, like nice sweats, sweatshirts, nice shirts for walking, hiking, or even going out. Like, you can even wear a lot of these shirts nowadays on a date. Like sporty outfits, especially the nice ones. And here in the Bay Area, you typically see people wearing the nice ones because there's good money here. Obviously, you know, we can afford to buy them. But these nice sporting outfits nowadays are like what people wear out to dinner and stuff, even when they're not hiking or walking. because they serve like a dual purpose. They're so high quality and they look so good, even though their main purpose is, for fitness, for working out at the gym or taking a walk or a hike or a bike ride or whatever, right? 4 thumbs up, folks. We got 9 people here. Do you mind smashing the thumbs up? Hey, even if you're here for the wrong reasons, why would you keep coming back if you don't like the content? So how about you do me a favor? Be a good person, because I would thumb you up too. Thumb up this stream. I'd appreciate it. 5 thumbs up. And some of these trolls will go thumb up, thumb down. They'll basically go on off, just to kind of toy with me, right? Or they'll thumb me up while I'm here, and then they'll go back and thumb me down after the stream ends. You see the numbers go down. Well, a lot of the dislikes get removed too, as well. Got a few people coming here, and they're all wearing masks. Let me pull out to the side. It's a Chinese family speaking Chinese. They're all wearing masks. I'm vaxxed and boosted. I got a great immune system. I don't need to wear a mask on the hiking trail. There's no point. You can't breathe in the air. Here we go. We went from dirt to cement. We're in the stretch run. Folks, please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We'll be going off the air in probably about 15 minutes, more or less. Look at how beautiful that shot is. I wish I was recording this in 4K at 60 frames per second, or had my Sony a6400 out here to take some 24 megapixel still shots. I'm gonna have to come out and do that at some point. It's absolutely beautiful. The sun is just glistening on the water. Oh, man, even with my Ray-Bans, it's blinding. Without the Ray-Bans, I probably would be blind. I'll tell you that. That sun is nasty, but it's beautiful. It's right at eye level. Vitamin D, right? D3. Decide to change your life today. You can make that choice right now within yourself. You're the only one that can do it, right? And until you decide to make that change and you're 100% in on bettering yourself, nothing I say will matter. Nothing anyone else says will matter. Another coach or any other person, your friend, your family, or anyone, right? None of it matters until you make it matter, right? And trust me, I was stubborn like all you folks. I was, for several years in my mid-20s, I wouldn't say I was miserable, but I just wasn't really as happy as I wanted to be. I mean, I still had fun, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't as happy as I wanted to be. And I was doing things with friends just to please them, things I really didn't enjoy, just to hang out with my friends. And I no longer do that. I only do things that I enjoy doing with people that enjoy doing similar things, right? And the people that don't enjoy doing similar things as I enjoy, I just don't prioritize them or eliminate them, right? You want to do things that make you happy with people that enjoy those similar things, and also those people are happy people that make you happy as well in that aspect. So do things that make you happy with other happy people that enjoy similar things that you enjoy, right? You know, not every single person that you encounter is going to be a close friend. Maybe they're an acquaintance, right? There's a difference between an acquaintance and a friend, right? An acquaintance is somebody that you know, that you know you can say hi to or hang out with every now and then, and typically an acquaintance does not enjoy the same things you enjoy, or maybe they enjoy a few of the things you enjoy, but they primarily enjoy different things than you do. A real friend, a close friend, is someone that enjoys practically almost anything and everything that you enjoy. You're both on the same page. You're at the same level, right? You truly enjoy each other's company because you both enjoy the same things in life, right? And that's another thing I keep preaching. I'll say it over and over again. Like attracts like, right? What the hell was that? I heard a beep coming from somewhere. It's from one of those buildings. Maybe just the sound traveled pretty far, because out here it's pretty peaceful and the sound travels far. The freeway is about a half a mile from here. And it's not really that loud, but I can still hear a little residual of the cars driving from the freeway, just because it's so peaceful out here. Like, you can hear the noise a little bit half a mile away. Over here's one of the most expensive child daycare centers on the planet. And the building, like, it's a nice building, and I don't know if that different shade of brown is actually part of the is supposed to be there, or if it's just like the rain and the salt water has discolored it a little bit. I think it's been discolored by the salt water, but this is a really, really nice, like 10 out of 5 star daycare center. I wouldn't be surprised if it costs like 10 grand a month to bring your child here. Like, this is daycare, but it's almost like being in nursery school. It's a great business out here. People have money. Both the man and the woman are working. Both the man and the woman are making a couple $100 grand a year, or $250 a year. That's $500,000, right? In order to do that, they got to find someone to watch their kids. So yeah, okay, we'll pay you 10 grand a month. We'll pay you 10 grand a month. We're making $500,000 a year. So we're probably bringing in about, what, 35, 40K a month. We'll take 10 grand. We'll take 25% of our income for childcare. If you're going to do that, you have to also make sure it's worth it, right? If childcare costs you more than 25% of your combined income, it's not worth it, in my opinion, right? At the same time, you could probably write it off. Whew. I'm really feeling it after this walk today. I'm leaving the front camera on because a lot of people that are new here have never seen this path. This is Shores, Redwood Shores Childcare. Right? I'll zoom in. You can probably barely see that there. Shores Childcare. That's like top notch. I should look it up online and see what the enrollment fee is and what tuition is. I would not be surprised if that costs about 10 grand a month for childcare. And then you have a Marriott here on the backside. I think I have stayed at this Marriott one time. It's been a while. I would definitely want the view from the water, get a room that you can view the water. What would be really nice is if this Marriott here had actual balconies where you can walk out. Now that would make it more worthy, right? But no, they just have a window. I guess you can walk out a little bit. There's like a, it's like a bar. It's like a bar. Well, no, I don't think you can even walk on there. It's just there so people don't jump out. Boy, a better thing would have been to put like a balcony or a deck in each of those rooms. And I bet if that was the case, they'd get more people staying there, because you could literally just put a table out there, you know, take your lady for an overnight, put a table out there, get some candles, get a bottle of wine, and just look at the beautiful water, the wetlands, and the beautiful skyline at night out here. They should probably upgrade that at some point. It just looks like a little too old schoolish. Would have cost a lot more money, but they would have made a lot more money doing that. For a Marriott, this looks kind of cheapified, at least with those bars. Oh well. Folks, please get those thumbs up. Please share this out on your community tabs, Facebook, LinkedIn, tweet out on Twitter. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. We are at now 108 minutes, which is an hour and 48 minutes. It's going to be about a 2-hour stream today. That's because this is a little bit longer of a walk than the one over at Bar Island that I've been going to the last 3 days. We're actually in San Carlos now, a city over from Redwood City. And for those of you that have been watching my recent streams or in the past where I show the planes flying over that trail, they're flying over here to the San Carlos airport. See, this is the airport here. That's the hangars, and the gentleman out here maintaining his plane. So this is where the airport is at, this the backside of it. And then on the other side is the runway, and then they turn in here and they park their planes. Oh, I am starving. I'm gonna eat another cow tonight. My lady's probably laughing at me. My lady texted me earlier this morning to let me know that she called in sick. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. And then later on I sent her a text about this show. I didn't hear back from her, so she might have taken another nap to just rest a little more before getting back to the grind at work tomorrow. Shores Plaza and childcare, hotel parking. And then over here is one of my favorite parts of this walk, is a little creek over here. And this is the bridge going over the creek. Like you can see that. Baby, if you're watching this, which you probably are, would you want to live in this area? Do you think you could have a life here? What do you think? You tell me. Keep on getting better so we can take these walks together and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful nature and wetlands we have right in our backyard here in the Bay Area. Look at the duckies there. Rubber ducky, you're the one. See if we can get any closer. I think we're in digital zoom now, but you can still see him, right? Beautiful. See if we can get any closer. I think that's the max. I gotta tell you, the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the newer one, the 13, the cameras are some of the best smartphone cameras. The 12 and the 13, just amazing. Even at 720p, which is the max resolution for YouTube live streams from the mobile app, having a good camera with a good lens, or good lenses, a good phone with good lenses, makes a difference. That's why on some phones, you see better quality live streaming than others. It's because, whoa. Can you hear that? You can hear the birds. Oh my God, look at that. Wow, there's a ton of them. I think they went to the coast for Saturday. They went over to the coast, which is about 10 to 15 miles west. Holy smokes. Oh my God. Wow. It's happening in real time, folks. Folks, at one point, everywhere was nature. We built over nature, folks. This is still their territory. The birds and all the other animals. Man just decided to tear it up one day and started building. But yeah, when you have a better quality smartphone, you get better quality streaming and pre-recorded videos. That's why I tell people, if you're going to do YouTube or any type of video production, you've got to get the top of the line smartphone, either the top of the line Android or the top of the line iPhone, which the top of the line iPhone is always the Pro Max version. I've got the 12 Pro Max, right? Spend the extra money and get the one with the largest amount of hard drive space, of memory. Right, I've got 512 gigs on this thing, which was the max I could get. Now the 13 has a terabyte max. Now, quite honestly, I'm good with 512 gigs because whenever I record stuff, I offload it to my computer right away. But even if I went on vacation, I'd have to literally record, I'd say, about 10 hours of 4K video at 60 frames per second to fill up, this phone's memory, right? And going on vacation, I'm not going to record 10 hours of video, right? Because if I'm focused doing 10 hours of video while on vacation with my lady for a week or something, when we do that down the road, then she's probably going to wonder, why the hell are we on vacation when you're just working, right? But yeah, if I was able to wait one more year before upgrading, I couldn't. I needed to get a new phone last year. If I got the 13 Pro Max, I would have gotten the 1 terabyte version. You always want to max out your phones, folks, because then also you not only have the best quality for video and audio and stuff, and in pictures. When you get more memory and storage, your phone's going to last you longer. You can go typically, like, before I got the 12 Pro Max, I had the iPhone 6 Plus. My iPhone 6 Plus lasted me for almost 6 years. geese are still here. Let me see. Hey, buddy. Hi, bud. Yeah, and they really don't, they just start walking. Like, they don't even get, maybe they're a little scared, but they're like, okay, he's walking closer. We're going to walk away and see if he keeps coming. If he doesn't walk away, then we'll attack him, right? Look at the male one. The male one right there is like lifting its head. I think it's trying to give me a warning saying, dude, you're getting too close. Back off or I'll attack you. You're going to attack me with your beak, right? I'm a 175-pound man, and you're like what? A 15, 20-pound bird with a beak. I'm sure your beak could, if you catch me off guard and you start pecking at me, I'm sure you could do a little damage. But once I catch on to you, I mean, come on, 175-pound man versus a 15 or 20-pound bird, right? A goose, right? Part of the bird family, right? Heading back to the car. Please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat, folks. We're going to be going off the air in about 5 minutes or less. Another great walk today. Another great 4+ miles in the books. Feeling a lot better. I'm going to have a nice meal tonight. Relax, probably talk to my lady, and then take the rest of the night off. I'm not coming back for a night stream tonight in the studio. I'm probably going to do another walking stream tomorrow, and that's it. And then I'll probably come back with more additional content next week. I kind of needed to take a little bit of a rest this week from doing multiple pieces of content because, you know, between talking with my lady and doing these walking streams and then doing more content, I never give my voice time to rest. And you got to let your voice rest, folks. You know, if you keep talking all day, every day, you know, eventually your vocal cords are going to get shredded or they're going to get tired, right? And then you're not going to be able to talk for a while. So when you notice that your vocal cords starting to get a little bit tired, it means you're creating too much content or talking too much for whatever reason. Slow it down a little bit. That dude just raised his hand up because he saw my selfie sticking camera. But I think he didn't realize that the camera is on the selfie, not on the front. I'm using the selfie camera on me right now. I could switch to the front camera, but I wasn't on there at the time he passed by. Thank you to everyone for being here. I appreciate you all. Again, please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. Interesting today. I'm back. Interesting today. I think you folks can hear me. Interesting today. I get cut off right before I'm about to go off the air. And then I'm back. I didn't get cut off at all when I was on the trail wide open, right? So I think just certain areas are more congested than others, and certain areas have more electrical interference than others. And then Derek pops in. Derek says, hello, host. I think I'm going to try some of that Zupu because I have been having issues lately. Well, Zupu is cool. There's also something else I'm going to be trying that I found out today through a Reddit forum. There's a vitamin called magnesium citrate or something like that. It has like citrus in it. I hear a lot of guys, even younger guys, that have been constipated, and their doctors have recommended magnesium citrate, I think is what it's called. And you're supposed to take, I guess, anywhere from 250 to 500 milligrams per day. And what it does is it acts as a laxative, and it basically will practically melt your stuck hard stool into a liquid format so it can pass easily. But yeah, do what you got to do, man. As we get older, shit happens, literally, right? Shit happens, right, brother? Well, thank you for passing by. My brother would love to live on the lake, says Lewis earlier. I'm sure you're no longer around, Lewis, but oh my God. They're back. This is cool. You can hear these birds are so damn loud. I think they're flying home from the beach. Wow. Okay. I mean, there's so many of them, and they're so damn loud that they're distracting the shit out of me. We just hit the 2-hour mark. We're at 2 hours and 2 minutes. All right, folks, I got to wrap things up. Derek, thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone else that was watching behind the scenes. Queen Helen Casey takes weekends off to focus more of her energy on her Twitter stories, on her news stories. There's lots going on. I'll let Queen worry about that. And plus, I'm tired of all drama and all these news stories. All they are is drama, 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 drama. I'm going to go home and have a night of peace. Talk with my lady and then get some rest and do it all over tomorrow. All right? I suggest you have a night of peace as well. Okay? Have yourselves a great night. See you all tomorrow for another walk. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to another different location tomorrow. I'm gonna keep switching it up. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. Good night.